Let me tell a tale of a world where heroes walk among us, fighting through the darkness left by monsters and by selfish men. A tale of glory rents asunder, sacrifice and battles lost. Our heroes know not what awaits them, and still they carry on. Let me sing a song of a family forged by trials and woe. On their own they falter, but together they will write their own tale of glory rent asunder, sacrifice and battles lost. Our heroes know not what awaits them, and still they carry on. What was rent shall be restored. What was lost now shall be found. The price of valor ever rising, where victory brings new rewards. Tales of glory, might, and wonder, hard-fought battles, treasures won. Our heroes know their fate awaits them, and so they carry on. Hello, and welcome to Ages of Ainur. I am your humble stream host, Pixel, and I am pleased to present to you the, I wonder what Neil will choose, 16th episode of Ages of Ainur presents Baldur's Gate, Descent into Avernus. As always, friends, we're going to get into the game here in just a few moments, but before we do, we have those pesky housekeeping things. First things first, of course, you will notice that I am not the GM today. I am one of our lovely players, and so you won't be able to spoil anything because there's nothing to spoil. However, when you see maps, because you'll be seeing player perspective and not GM perspective like you do on other streams, but do please keep in mind that if you've played this adventure or read it or whatever, please do not share things in chat that the players don't know because that will be spoilers, and we don't want them spoiled. We want our players to have their authentic reactions to the things that are happening. Second, please don't freak out about rules. I'm gonna just leave that where it is. We are using the new 2024 rules. And be aware that inspiration has changed in the new rules. So that the only reason I mention it is because that does change our chat inspiration a little bit. Players can now use inspiration to reroll any die roll, not just d20s, but also damage or healing, etc. And so we will apply those to those rules to chat inspiration for us as well. Third, as always, this is an open and welcoming space, so don't be a wangrod. And of course, a reminder that we do release a show on YouTube after each episode during the following week. So if you miss an episode or have to miss part of it today, don't fret. If you want to be caught up for next time, you can still catch it after the fact on our YouTube. And then, of course, last thing before we get started, we're going to go around and introduce ourselves and our characters and remind Pixel whether or not we have chat inspiration. I'll throw it over to DocRobert.
Hi, everyone. I am Robbie, or DocRobert, and I am the dungeon master of this hellish podcast, stream, whatever you want to call it. I play everyone who are not these 5 wonderful people, and probably the only 5 wonderful people that you will get to meet for a hot minute, other than Lulu. She's nice. But you know, in space, no one can hear you scream. In hell, everyone's an asshole. What can I tell you? So there's going to be a little bit of that going on. You can find me often in Bonus Mom's Tavern, although less these days than before, as I have grading up to my eyeballs to complete, which is where you will also find me sitting in front of my computer, leaving comments about meta commentary and essays as I grade students' work. With that, I'll throw it back to Pixel.
Oh, hey, gang. My name's Pixel. I didn't see you there. Thanks for coming in. Today, I will be playing Phoenix Bratgrin, Dwarven Barbarian, and, well, I guess we'll let you observations tell you what Phoenix is like. You can also find me here on twitch.tv/Hammer and Pixel. We've been playing a lot of Minecraft, a lot of Final Fantasy XIV, some Pal World. We're kind of all over the place lately. But you can find us, and by us I mean me, there.
Awesome. Let's go next to Bonus Mom herself.
Hey there, kiddos. I'm Bonus Mom, and tonight I am playing Bonnie Mama, otherwise known as Boniface Montmartre, and I'm the mom of this group. And can I just say, moms are always in hell with their kiddos, but this one is particularly bad. And I have chat inspiration.
Wonderful, wonderful. Next, let's take it over to McReese.
Hi everyone, I am McReese. Tonight I will be playing Raven LaFey, the Tiefling Druid, and not playing Final Fantasy for the first time in a long time.
Excellent, excellent. Cam.
Hello, my name is Cam, or Nora Mark. Unfortunately, Neil the Goblin couldn't be here tonight, so I've just took in his space. So, so for tonight, I will be playing Neil Boggs, Goblin Wizard. I only just managed to finally get that green paint off, which is why you've not seen me for like a month. You can find me here on Twitch at twitch.tv/no_mark. You can also find me in Bonus Mom's Tavern when I have availability, which is going to be slim as we are coming up to Christmas, and it's very busy in my theatre at the moment. But yeah, very excited for tonight, and lots of decisions to make.
Last but certainly not least, Kaylee.
Hey everybody, I'm Kaylee or Christy. I play Temperance, the Air Genasi sorcerer, and I do not have chat inspiration according to my notes. You can find me here, sometimes in Bonus Mom's Tavern. I also stream on Tuesdays with another D&D group called Reality Break 20. We are wrapping up our evaluation of virtual tabletops. I think we've got one more left to go. I don't remember which one though. And then we're actually going to be possibly diving into some more one-shots before we pick up one of our long-standing campaigns in the new year, which I'm really excited about because we haven't played in it in a long time. You can also find me as Kaylee1999 on TikTok and Twitch. I've not streamed in a while, but I'm hoping also in the new year to get back to streaming probably Dragon Age Veilguard, because that's all I've been playing for the last month or so. And that's it.
All right, so let's have
I do have inspiration, chat inspiration, by the way. I
forgot. I completely forgot about that.
So do I.
Okay.
I think it says I do as well.
I think we all do.
I do not. At least not in my notes, I do not.
Oh, sorry.
What about you, Bonus Mom? Chat inspo?
I do. I said I did.
He was the only one who remembered.
I was not paying attention.
Was on it. The rest of us
totally was not paying
trying
attention.
to keep up. All right. Well,
sorry, All Might. I'm a failure.
All right, guys. Let's do a quick recap of what's been going on since the last time, because it's been a bit. So, we are still in hell, a little more literally than we were before beginning of November, but that's neither here nor there. the characters are currently in Mahadi's Wandering Emporium, a wonderful menagerie of shops and lots of different places to spend some money, unfortunately, for our all too wonderful players and their characters. The currency that is used here is not gold, but souls, in the form of soul coins. Now, soul coins spend like money, but if you're not of moral ill repute, it can be taxing on you physically to have them around, as our players have already found out. Mechanically, if you carry too many, you get encumbered. You lose half your speed, which is what I would like to call not ideal. So, with that, they have been putting around, looking at different things to buy. Oh, Phoenix sold his Hellfire Yakawa really quickly, and with no haggling whatsoever. And Bonus Mom was about to buy some delicious chicken. The Bonnie looked at it, looked so tasty, but she, for whatever reason, decided not to purchase the abyssal chicken. It seems like Temperance got a haircut. And maybe Raven did, but she can't remember. There is no memory of said haircut either
My
way.
hooves look immaculate.
I was gonna say
No
she got a
idea why.
pedicure, I think. Yeah.
And Neil went to go find Mahadi and look for a deal. And as we left it off, the terms of that deal were being arranged. So Mahadi says, "Friend, so good to see you. Yes. So, Neil, have you had a chance to look over it? Any provisos or modifications to the deal? I only give the best deals to my clients."
Who's here at the moment? What's the current
Anyone who would
scenario?
like to be there can be there.
I think, wasn't it Neil and Raven who went with Temperance to get the haircut? So I imagine that we would probably still be there, or that we would
three of
be,
you at
like, the three of
least,
us
yeah.
at least would be
Yeah,
together.
I think Phoenix
That makes
is
sense.
off buying a Ring of Fire resistance right now.
And I think Bonnie
Excellent.
had gone with Phoenix, if I remember rightly.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. So it's the three of you.
Yeah, and just, not to cut, but like Phoenix is sliding a beautiful golden ring with with an incredible like ruby gemstone set in it over just the grimiest ash covered hand. Truly pearls before swine here
Gross.
in the bright grin situation.
I love it.
Would it be appropriate for Bonnie Mama to be surreptitiously trying to clean it up with her whatever that spell
Well, I
that
think
have?
I think the ring as a magic item literally can't be sullied,
Yeah.
no matter how much of me it comes in
Okay.
contact
Well,
with. But my
Bonnie-
hand, on the other hand, I
Bonnie
guess.
is working on your hand and she's trying to be surreptitious about it. So she's, like one fingernail at a time trying to work on your hand a little bit.
Luckily, I don't think there's anything that you could do that would make Phoenix notice such a thing.
Yeah.
So-
Somewhere in
Okay.
Baldur Gate World Records is a picture of Bonnie for the number of uses of prestidigitation.
It's so true.
Yeah.
It's so true. Really
Yeah,
quick,
you've got your money's worth out of that cantrip.
Doc, I had said I was gonna get 4 health potions. Could I convince them to also sell me a healer's kit along with that?
Make a persuasion check as not the goblin, the tiefling behind the counter goes, "All right, maybe."
Oh, it's only an 8.
You say, "Ha, no, unfortunately not."
Well, then I will just take 3 potions of healing and a healer's kit.
Gotcha. With that conversion, you could get 2 healers kits. I think the healers kits are 25 gold instead of 50. Am I correct on that? Or are they the same price?
Sure. I don't remember, honestly.
Okay. Well, if
But
they're
I'll
the
do
same,
that.
if they're yeah, whatever it is, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway,
Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
so Mahadi, yes,
Okay.
my friend.
I would, given that I've got people present, I I would just beckon him down to like my level, and I'm going to pull my book out.
And he does. He kneels down to your level, says, "Or were you looking for somewhere more private to talk?"
No, not as such. But I pull my book out,
right.
and as I pull the book out, I pull my normal inks, my writing stuff, and I'm just gonna write in Infernal on the page that I open. I want to keep this discreet from Raven and Temperance, from them seeing anything. So I only want him to be able to see that. Do I need to make any check for that?
Would be a sleight of hand check, unless you just tell them to look away.
No, I'm gonna go for the sleight of hand check.
That'd be sleight of hand versus passive perception. So just your passive perception checks.
And Temperance, you have chat inspiration.
Yay, thank you.
That is a 19 on sleight of hand.
Okay, that's really good. So that should, no one should be able to see.
Okay. I'm just going to write in Infernal, this is conversation best kept private.
You see that he nods and says...
And as I'm writing it, I'm just going to say to him, I was wondering if there's a possibility that you have access to these kinds of things, and just kind of like knowingly look at him like, hoping he's getting the gist of follow along.
Of course, yes. Though I have access to almost everything in the multiverse.
Not sure it's something for right now.
All right, well, you know where I am, or actually you might not. It depends if we go. But either way, you'll find me. He gives you a wink.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And as he kind of wanders away, you guys are left, he would say, "But please, before you leave, make sure you taste our delicacies at Infernal Rapture. It's the best place in all of the 9 hells. At least I think so." What is everyone else doing?
Raven is just seriously distracted by the fact that she feels like she should remember something. She doesn't, but her hooves look great.
They do. They look really good.
And I think once Phoenix is done buying his magic item, he's going to maybe suggest to Bonnie, "Do you think we should go find everybody else? I think I've spent about all I can afford here. I'd like to keep at least one of them coins around
Yes, let's
just in
do.
case."
I don't like being separated in such an odd place. This isn't what I thought we were going to run into. A caravan? Yes, let's find everyone else.
And it doesn't take you long to do so. It's not a very big market, all things considered. Yeah, Neil.
I'm just going to mention something just to jog Bonnie's memory, just because I'm not sure whether you remember that it's part of where Bonnie and Neil had left off, was that you'd specifically, when Neil had signed the paper to come in, you'd seen a different name
That is
when
true.
you'd come in, and you were
Right.
still trying to broach that subject with him.
I had forgotten about that too.
Yeah, it just popped into my head there. It literally just. I was thinking if I didn't remember it, then I don't know whether anyone.
Well, now that I've checked my notes, I do.
See, I don't write notes. I'm a terrible player.
It's okay. I also don't write notes, and I'm the dungeon master. So... Okay. As you guys all collect up, the market still brims around you. You're really unsure where a lot of the customers came from, because like you saw the market roll up and you haven't seen people come in, but there are definitely people who are just being normal store patrons. So, you know.
This is just the oddest thing I've ever seen. Where did all these people come from? Do you see? And are they mostly human?
If you remember,
you are the only humans around. Almost all of them are a plethora of different species, most of them non-humanoid.
Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
Bonnie is the only human around.
That is true.
Accurate.
Yeah.
Well, Bonnie, if you remember, I think the guy who runs this place or somebody around here told us that, or maybe it was somebody told us before we left, I don't know, that like distance and direction don't really work the same way here. You kind of just imagine where you want to go and walk, and you'll end up probably in the right place if you
Oh, I
believe
do
hard enough or
remember
whatever.
that.
So I guess they just got here by thinking about moving towards here and walking.
Or just really wanting to go shopping very badly.
Really
Oh,
took
hey
the
there,
phrase,
guys.
go
How
to
you
hell
doing?
way too literally.
Anything exciting happened while we were gone? I got a new ring.
Oh, that's beautiful. What I got a haircut and maybe some information.
I don't have any hair to get cut.
Not even in your ears?
Yeah.
Is that
No.
bad to say? I'm sorry, Neil.
It's
Sometimes I
okay.
just blurt stuff out.
No, we don't, goblins we don't tend to have a huge amount of hair in a lot of cases, especially once we hit certain ages. Yeah.
I did have a kind of an interesting conversation with the lady who was doing the spa day, I suppose. She did give a bit of a hint about Fort Knucklebone. She said to be particularly nice to someone named Maggie, who if I remember correctly, is maybe the one who makes all the vehicles, isn't she? I think that person. But her favorite gifts are traumatic memories. So I suppose that that would be useful if we need her help or talk to her at all.
Well, I think we could all come up with plenty of traumatic memories.
Yes, I feel like some of them I'd like to get rid of, to be honest. I don't know if that's how it works, but
I mean, does today class as a traumatic memory? Because it's not been particularly nice.
I feel like the last several days would.
This whole thing, from the very beginning, from agreeing to watch the gate on that first day of work, it's been a nightmare. Neil, do you have a moment? I have a question for you.
The only options of answering are yes, no, and maybe. Does the question fit within those categories?
Maybe.
I like
Man.
what you did.
You played the Uno reverse right there, gang.
Of course.
Bonnie gets a little bit closer to Neil and bends over a little bit. Neil, I couldn't help but notice that you signed a different name as we were coming in. Is that your real name?
I wouldn't call it my real name. My real name is Neil. Because that's the name that I like.
Oh, I see. Well, I like your name, Neil, much better. Neil Boggs. What an adorable name, and you are adorable. And I don't care if you don't have any hair in your ears. As long as you keep them clean, I'm totally happy.
You do know, Bonnie, that you named me Neil.
I did? No, that's your name.
No. You named me that. That wasn't... That wasn't... My name specifically, if the easiest translation from goblin into common, because goblins get named for stupid reasons, and goblins get given names because their idiotic friends and family members think it's okay to call them something and call them names and call them, in some cases, not particularly nice things. And my family called me Slimeface because I was never clean. because I
Oh.
was always dirty, and because I could never clean myself properly, and because I didn't look after myself, because I was always too scared. So they
Oh.
called me Slime Face, and I had to put up with that. And I had to put up with it repeatedly until
Oh.
I met you.
Oh, Neil. So, they didn't name you like when you were a baby? They wait till they decide who you are and then they slam a name on you?
Pretty much.
Oh, Neil. Well, you're my Neil Pogs, and I love that very much, and I love you. And you're mine, and well, you're adorable. And I don't think you're dirty. You're not any dirtier than the rest of us. We'd all have a name like that down here. Particularly just between you and me, Phoenix. Have you seen his hands? I mean, he could get the nicest little ring in the world, but when you put it on that atrociously, horribly dirty digit, well,
Fenix
it'll
is
be a
like
miracle
looking
if
at
it
his
doesn't
ring,
get 50.
and then he like blows on it and buffs it on his dirty shirt.
Well, how did I happen to name you Neil Boggs? I thought you told me that's who you were.
Well, unfortunately, Bonnie, at the time, you didn't really understand Goblin.
No, I'm much better now, aren't I? I've learned so
Yeah,
many words
you
thanks
have.
to you, Neil.
And you have. And you know, actually, this is a lesson for everybody. Here's your first lesson in Goblin language.
All right.
And
Gather round, everyone. Neil's going to
as
give
he
us a
says it,
lesson.
he eyes Raven and like gives her like this like real kind of side eye look, knowing that obviously Raven does know Goblin. So Raven, in theory, technically may already know what he's about to say. In Goblin tribes and in the way that we work and sorry, I'll correct myself, in the way that they work, they have wizards of sort, which is what I am, and there is a specific word that they use for that. It's more of a title than anything. But they're called nilbogs.
A
And when I
goblin?
met you, I
Yes.
tried to explain to you what I was. And you didn't understand.
Oh, I really didn't. So you were telling me that you were a goblin wizard. Of sorts.
Yeah. And then it stuck.
And it fits you perfectly, Neil. It's the perfect name for you.
It's much better than the last one.
Yes, I would agree so. And I like the idea that you've picked your name. You know, when I became Bunny Mama, that's not my real name either. I've got this ridiculously over fancy name, Boniface Marguerite Bonap Montmartre. I almost didn't say it right. I don't say it enough. Boniface Marguerite Montmartre. Does that sound like me? No. I'm your Bonnie Mama, and I'm glad to be that. So let's you and I journey on in the middle of hell here. And let's don't worry about semantics and false names. You're very special, Neil.
I'm glad that it's not strange.
You could, however, keep your cookbook a little bit cleaner. Just saying.
To which, before, as you're saying that, he fully untucks his ears, so his ears are like pointing like very like clearly out and proud, and like balances his hat just perfectly and just so, and takes out his cookbook and just wipes the front of it off and puts it back away. It's still absolutely grotty beyond belief, but
Glancing at his ears, Bonnie grimaces but smiles. She must have seen something in there she didn't like.
They're probably not the cleanest being in hell, let's be honest.
Fair.
Okay.
Temperance, you mentioned that you you got this information from a spa.
Yes, we were all there. The lady who cut my hair and shined Raven's hooves.
Um,
Blue
Guess
woman.
you don't remember that?
No.
kind
It was
of
a
like
whole
lean
conversation.
towards Raven and just kind of in Goblin, just saying, Is she okay?
I don't think any of us are. But I still don't know how my hooves are like this.
Because you got a pedicure and she trimmed them and shined them and you really don't remember. That's so strange. There was a whole conversation when we were talking about Tiamat and Zariel, and you don't remember any of that? That's
No, I just kind of figured I zoned out and we stopped at a Fury or somewhere. Farrier.
No. That's odd. Well, and I don't know why this person knows anything about Fort Knucklebone, but that seemed the relevant bit of information. There was also something about someone who came around with a powerful artifact and some friends that has to do with Tiamat, and that was kind of an uncomfortable part of the conversation. So I'm kind of not sad that you don't remember that, but the bit about Fort Knucklebound seemed relevant, so I thought I'd share. But that's
Well, I mean, for what you described of this Maggie person and her form of payment, she sounds fey. They're always screwing around with people's minds.
Well, that fits then. I mean, I don't think that this person was Maggie. I think there was something like Barney or Bernie or something like that.
Bernie.
Who's
Urny.
Who travels across the plains, different, like that's what they like to do. I mean, I suppose that the Fey realm is one of the planes, so maybe she picked something up there. I don't know, but that's so odd.
Temperance, I want to believe you very muchly, but Mr. D did make us aware that nobody would be able to use magic on us, so there would be no reason really that Raven or I wouldn't know that happened. Can I like insight check Temperance in this like circumstance just to like see if there's any like signs of lying?
Yeah, of course.
Do I roll anything?
That was a nat 20 for 21.
Yeah. Then you definitely do not have to roll anything. No, she is being completely, unequivocally serious.
And now I know some people can lie without breaking a sweat, but you seem to break a sweat at quite a lot of things, Temperance.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not lying. I don't know how she did it. It's just the weirdest thing. And I don't like being singled out that way, that I'm the only one that remembers.
Well, where is she, dear? Should we go back and see if that makes them remember anything?
Sure. I mean, it was right over, and I'll point in the direction where we were.
Yeah, you're welcome to go back.
I mean, we can start walking that way.
Yeah, we head that way.
Yeah. As you guys walk in, you see a fairly cramped, impromptu barber stall set up. You see mostly it's in a tent, but there are 2 seats, and along with a, I believe, bronze dragonborn. No. The bronze dragonborn is the a statue statue of the bronze dragon. Sorry, that's in the corner. So she looks at you. The lady looks at you and says, "Oh, well, it's good to see you back. It's quite pleasant." And Bonnie, you see the only other human woman who you've seen.
Yeah, so I was just chatting with my friends about the conversation that you and I had about Fort Knucklebone and Maggie and all of that. And my other two friends don't remember that conversation at all.
How odd. Well, dearies, you should go get your memory checked out. I know that carrots are good for the eyes. Maybe something's good for the memory.
This feels a little more specific than that.
Did you do my hooves?
Yes, I believe so.
That's really fine work for a barber.
I'm quite good at what I do. I have lots of practice.
Hey, you didn't do my nails, though. They're just as dirty as they were.
No, but would you like them done?
Well, no, not really.
Okay.
And he put his
Can I
hand in his
insight
pockets.
her?
Can I look around the tent and see if there's anything
11.
that looks like it might be causing a memory issue or anything?
Yeah, make an Arcana check. Sure. Or Perception.
Arcana or perception. We're going to go with Arcana. 12.
Well, I mean, you do notice that statue of a bronze dragonborn in the back, but you don't think it's particularly magic. It is just very ornate. Like it could have been magic once, but nothing about it makes you think it is anymore. It's probably about 3 foot tall. It seems to not be solid, but has a thin layer of bronze on the outside, polished quite finely.
Is there something that I would recognize as being holy?
No.
So more of a the equivalent of a lucky cat.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good. That's actually a really good analogy. Yeah.
Ma'am, I don't mean to pry. Were you from the prime material plane?
Yes. Kalasham.
I got a question for you. When was the last time you had mayonnaise?
Oh, it's never my favorite. It's been quite some years.
What about honey?
Oh, honey, I haven't had in a while.
I happen to, listen, here we are in hell. I don't, things taste weird down here. But, I have a magic jug that can produce up to a gallon of honey.
Oh, that's wonderful. Unfortunately, I don't think it will work here, unfortunately. Well, you can make the honey, but it won't taste sweet.
Well, that is unfortunate. I guess the beer still gets the job done.
You see her kind of grimace at the thought of it. I appreciate the thought, though.
Raven, what'd you get on your insight check?
11. Is there any... If I step out of the tent again, do I remember anything? Do I forget everything?
So you step out of the tent, you kind of forget what's going on, and you start walking around looking for everyone.
I head towards the restaurant.
Yeah.
I figure that's where we were going.
Do we notice her leaving?
Yeah.
Yes, all of you noticed that.
I'm gonna run and grab her. You all stay right here. See if you can get some more information. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna go grab her, and I'm gonna run after Raven.
So our friend Temperance was telling us about someone named Maggie.
Oh, yes, Bad Maggie over at Fort Knucklebone. She's quite a character. I'd be careful around her. She could either be your best friend or worst enemy. Well, probably not your worst enemy down here. There's lots more. But she's a bad one to have as an enemy.
Well, thank you for the heads up.
Does she like goblins?
I think she's fairly accepting of all creatures as long as they're willing to work for her.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
I'd like to. This may not pan out to anything. I would like to try to ask the being in the shield to see if he has any idea what this. Either if he can like sense the magic of what's going on with this tent, or can recognize something about this lady. So I think in his head, Phoenix just goes like, "Hey, G Money, G Man, what's up?"
Hello. You hear him audibly sigh, which is all the more impressive considering he does not breathe.
Yeah,
But the audible sigh is still incredibly apparent.
so he thinks at the shield. So we have reason to believe something little fishy is going on here with this lady. It's taking memories, or you don't remember stuff. Is she just a normal human, and is there some kind of magic here that you can sense? I don't know if that's beyond your abilities, but...
Well, interestingly enough, I cannot penetrate her mind. I don't feel as if I could talk to her. She's a blank slate to me.
Phoenix's asshole clenches slightly at that. In fear. Like, oh shit. That don't bode well.
She doesn't seem infernal, though.
Oh, I didn't say that out loud. Bonnie.
Okay.
He's having this conversation.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think at this
Nothing
point
about
we can,
her codes is infernal.
tell him that squint of the eye whenever Phoenix is thinking.
I mean, you definitely see Phoenix chuckle to himself a little bit.
Maybe his ears get a little red or something.
A little wisp of smoke trails out the ear.
And you can also see he chuckles to himself a little bit at absolutely nothing when he makes the thing sigh by calling it nicknames.
I think while that's probably going on, I think Neil would probably just be discussing the ins and outs of Baldur's Gate and whether she has experience of being in Baldur's Gate. And
I haven't been to Baldur's Gate in many years.
yeah, that's where Bonnie and I live in Baldur's Gate.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you enjoy it there.
You should come and try. Bonnie makes a really nice apple pies and cherry pie specifically.
Thank you for saying that, Neil. And I love to cook. However, I think if I were to try such a thing here, it would be a disaster.
Oh, the quality would be there. The taste would not.
Yes, so sad.
Phoenix does also just confer one last time with the shield and just says, "Well, listen, if somehow that she makes us forget this stuff, you want to just clue us back in on everything she said?"
Oh, I'll definitely do that.
I trust that, of course. Yeah. Thanks, G Money. Yeah, he's not gonna help. All right.
I think we should go and see what's taking Temperance and Raven so long. I'll head out and go and find him, and I'm gonna wander out the tent.
Yeah, and as soon as you do, just mind wipe the entire conversation. But you do see Temperance and Raven over there. Temperance is basically shaking Raven by the shoulders, like, "What are you talking about?" So
She just looks like a little kid who just realizes that she went the other way in the mall from her parent. And she's like, "Wait, what?
It's
Where?
not. You just walked out and forgot again. I don't understand why it happens to you and not me.
I will just come
What happens to me and not
over.
you?"
Just you don't remember we just had a whole conversation with the lady who did your hooves.
Temperance,
Oh,
Raven.
look at my hooves! They look amazing.
Has anybody seen Bonnie?
Honey, you just left her. She was in the tent where you just. Oh, it happened again.
Phoenix, should we go find them?
Yeah,
Oh
we
my
should
God.
get out of here.
Goodbye, nice person. Lovely to talk to you.
yes,
Lovely
so
to see
nice to
another
meet you,
human.
Bonnie.
Raven, where did you find the time to polish your hooves?
Yeah, and of course, as the two of you walk out, Exactly
Tempy's
as
having a
expected.
breakdown.
Just one quick second before we walk out, Phoenix does crop dust a little bit before as he's walking out the door.
Oh, God. You mean things loosen up?
I mean, he toots on his
Yeah.
way
I
out the
know,
door.
that's what I meant. You said it clenched.
Yes,
So it
yeah,
shrunk.
yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I think Temperance might be having a full-on breakdown at this point.
Oh, my
And just might be
goodness.
sitting on the ground with her head in her hands.
What on earth is wrong with Temperance?
I
don't
don't
know.
know. She says we were in a tent. Something about my hooves getting a manicure. I got lost.
Oh, your hooves do look very nice. They're so
They
clean for being down here.
I don't know where she found the time, to be very honest with you.
I know.
Thought we were going to go have dinner.
Oh, I think
Nobody
we've been...
turns down free food, and then I was
Yeah,
alone.
I mean, I think
with
that
nice
was the
hooves.
plan.
And then Tempy comes running up to me, freaking out.
Oh, bless your heart. It's getting to you down here, isn't it? I'm so sorry.
So, Bonnie, you don't remember being with Bernie and chatting about Baldur's Gate and apple pies? Oh, no, I wasn't there for that part of the conversation. Rewind.
I don't.
It's okay.
hear-
Neither was Bonnie. That part has been lost to all history. That's gone.
Only you, are the lovely viewers, remember what happened in that tent.
That's true.
Maybe there's just something in the air in hell that's making the air genasi a little loopy.
You know,
Maybe
that's
I am
kind of,
going crazy.
that's an interesting
no.
observation, actually, that there is air in hell. I don't know that I would have thought about that. Oh, well, should we get something to eat?
Where's
Temperance,
Phoenix?
that'll make you feel better. Let's get you a little bite of
I'm
something.
hungry.
Yes, that's your
I am
problem.
quite peckish myself.
There you go.
And certainly, for some reason, I would really love some apple pie.
Oh, I wish I could make you one. I would put so much cinnamon in there. I know you love cinnamon.
I mean,
Cinnamon
I'm
and
sure it would
sugar.
taste awful, though.
Mhm.
Well,
My son
probably
can't make
here,
apple
yes.
pie.
Is Phoenix now caught up with us?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's there.
And did Phoenix forget also?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Phoenix,
Yeah.
Phoenix, can you ask your shield a question? If it remembers? Just ask if it remembers.
Sure.
Do you remember?
Lil G, what's up, buddy? I don't really know what Temperance is on about, but she said I should ask you if you remember.
Remember what?
I don't
Inside
know.
the tent.
She says inside
Ask
the
it if-
tent.
Ask if it remembers
Where you bought
inside
the
tent.
ring?
Oh,
Yeah, was it
One
the one
word.
up? Was it the tent I bought the ring in? I mean, Bonnie and I were just over there a minute ago,
no,
and then we
'cause
caught up
it-
with you guys.
Oh,
And then
I
you said
remember
something about a
that.
haircut and forgetting having been in a tent. And then the next thing I remember is we're all standing here.
No, I think it must be me. I must just have gone off the deep end. All right, well,
Oh, I remember that part. You said there was someone at Knucklebone named Maggie that liked traumatic events or traumatic memories.
yes, it's where I got that information that apparently is the problem.
I mean, we could go back there if you want to go
No,
and speak to them.
God, no, let's not. No, absolutely not. We do not need to have this conversation a third time.
You think we'd remember
A
if we
third
just
time.
stood outside, the tent and yelled in and asked her questions that way?
I mean, I suppose we could try if you really want to.
I mean,
I'm getting
I don't
quite
know.
hungry personally.
Let's just go get some food.
Well, now, I just want to say, I feel that I must say that Temperance has never been someone who comes to us and says they remember all kinds of events, and then we were there and nobody else remembers them. So that makes me think if this really happened and we have forgotten it, we're not supposed to have magic here, but there must be something going on.
Lulu, you've been following us around. Do you remember anything?
Remember what?
Okay, so if there is someone messing with us, it affects Lulu, who is divine. I don't like that.
Yeah. It also seems to affect the shield, I guess.
Or it's something because of me that makes me stand out, which I don't like.
I mean, you do have those weird, creepy voices in your head that you were telling us about.
It's also
So
true.
it might just be that they've been telling you stories. Or, as some of us like to call those, dreams.
Well,
I really
no,
hope that's all
because
it is.
I know
something
what
had to
let's-
have happened. My hooves did not magically get done.
All right, this is what I think we should do. I think we should investigate this. I really do, because there may be more things in the future. Some of us should stay outside, some of us should go inside, and then uh, we can see how that works.
Well, I should go in since I'm apparently the only one who will remember anything that happens inside.
I do
Well, I
want to
don't-
just say one other thing, which is, and I suppose we don't know to what extent if she is doing something to us or if we bother this creature, person, lady, what powers she does or doesn't have. But if we just keep going in there to test theories, she may get kind of annoyed. And I guess if she tries to do something to us directly, it may run afoul of the bazaar and the deal that we struck, and that could be a problem. But also, if she has some way around that, I suppose we should just consider that if this is something that can theoretically take memories from a celestial, we maybe don't want to poke that hornet's nest unnecessarily.
Well, I will defer to
if that
whatever
makes
you want to
sense.
do, Phoenix, because you are our leader.
I'm just saying we should consider the possible repercussions before we pop back in there for a third or fourth time, however many times it is.
Well, Temperance has the information we need, and we all agree that there's something kinky going on. So we just need to be on our guard and
Well, I'm going to believe Temperance because I always try to believe the woman in every case.
Thank you. Although at this point, I don't know that I even believe me.
Oh, it's all right, dear. You just need something to eat.
That's true.
And you're saying, though, that when you went in the second time, the person told you the exact same story, the person, the creature, the whatever.
We didn't get into as many details the second time, but she did say that this Maggie person is someone not cross, and that she, I think, Neil asked if she liked goblins, and she said that she likes anybody who works for her, doesn't particularly care one way or the other. But she's a character, I guess.
Well, then, that's good enough for me. And I'm ready for something to eat. Let's go.
All right.
I do believe you, dear.
Thank you. I am gonna look over my shoulder at the tent one more time. And is there anything about the outside of it that stands out? Just a plain old tent.
You wouldn't really even know that it's like a shop from the outside. You might think that it's just like one of the places where someone lives. There's no sign, there's nothing.
All right.
I do have a question, Temperance, because Bonnie's going to look back at the tent also. Why did you ever go in there in the first place?
The lady asked if I wanted a haircut, and she actually was taking gold, but then she gave it to me for free anyway.
Most interesting.
Mm.
Whatever it is, my dear friend, it's about you.
Yes,
You
well,
should
we did
just
have
pay
a
attention.
we did have a long conversation about Tiamat too, and I suspect it probably has something to do with the dragon cult, which I'm really getting tired of. I thought I got away from all of this, and now it's coming all back. And I don't like being singled out. I didn't like it when I was a child, and I don't like it now.
I do understand. You know, every time Hell Riders get mentioned, my heart clenches, and it makes me think about my son, Shay. I know he's gone.
You don't know
I just
that.
don't know where. Oh, he's gone. I mean, he's gone.
Well,
I don't know if he's alive or dead, but he's gone. And
that's
yet he's not. It's the not knowing. And I feel like you're struggling with that too. It's the not knowing, isn't it, that really makes the days long and the nights unbearable. It's the not knowing. Sometimes I think if I just knew he was no more, I could begin to have peace with it.
It feels like I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop, like that's just dangling over the edge and teasing me with terrifying possibilities, and I don't like it. It's like when you know something's behind you and you don't know what it is, but you don't want to look, like if I look at it, that'll make it real, but it might also not be there, and that tension, that feeling of tension, I just don't. And anytime something like this happens where it's all focused on me, it just feels like that tension increases and just like a screw tightening. And it's uncomfortable. This place is already uncomfortable, and then all of that is making it worse. And also I'm hungry. That's a problem.
That's a real problem. That we
I
can
hope
do
this
something
place
about.
might have some apple pie.
I just hope it has something that doesn't taste like rotten eggs.
Or smell like rotten eggs.
Well, let's just stick together. And where is this food supposed to be? And oh God, I hope it's not chicken.
So
Well, I wouldn't mind some chicken.
So you guys see over closer to the entrance, there is a quite ornate sign that just said Mahadi presents the Infernal Rapture, which you know to be the name of the restaurant. It has an ornate sign with a beautiful red silk velvety silk, whatever, sides of the tent. As you get close, you feel, is that a waft of cold air coming out from the door? Like when you walk by a shop in the hot day?
I think this might be the place.
Oh, even if it's not, could we go stand inside for a little bit?
Right?
I'm gonna go in.
Yeah. As you do, the first thing that hits you is the wave of cool. The oppressive heat has been ubiquitous since you've entered the city. No matter how warm you like it outside, it feels like it's about 15 to 20 degrees hotter than that. Just outside of your level of comfort, just to the point where it's a little bit unbearable. But a different temperature for everyone. But as you walk in this particular stall, it feels perfect. Like a cool room temperature air conditioned building. Again, something your characters probably would not even have any context for. It feels perfect. If you're someone who likes it 75 in the house, it feels 75. If you like it chilly at 68, it's 68. It's perfect. The smell is the next thing that hits you. Rich, meaty smell of something roasting. As your eyes start to adjust to this darker environment, you see a little halfling man with a little towel, a red towel with a Infernal Rapture IR monogram over that says, "Hello." You are the guests that Mahati told us about, I believe. Please, special seating this way for our honored guests.
Oh, thank you. And Bonnie's going to immediately follow him.
And he sits you down and says, "Your server will be with you shortly."
Oh, thank you.
I don't think I've ever had a server.
And in fact, so as you go to sit, Neil, he pulls and he has a little high chair for you, so you're at the same seat level with everyone else.
Oh, how cool.
I have my own throne.
Oh, Neil, how lovely.
That's
The
remarkably
seats are
thoughtful.
immaculately comfortable. Plush, velvet seats that you sink a little into, high-backed chairs around a mahogany wood table. And you know how you know it's really nice? The napkins are cloth.
Oh.
Fancy.
Bonnie, I think we need to invest in one of these chairs at home. And these napkins, I mean, they're much nicer than what we have at home.
Well, I totally agree, Neil. And can I just say, I promise you we'll have them if we get home.
And look at all the cutlery. Which ones do we use first?
And it is, by the way, a full set of Michelin star, like 4 forks, 3 spoons, a weird knife with a hook at the end, everything.
When Neil asks
Everything.
that, just Raven kind of clicks and automatically starts naming things from her human obedient school class. I mean, etiquette classes.
Yeah, basically.
No,
Human obedience class.
I've never seen so many different things. I have no idea, dear.
I mean, these ones seem like the perfect size for me.
Why are there so many forks?
You don't want to mix foods.
Is that really a problem?
It is if you have enough coin to make you think it does. Don't suppose we can get a bottle of your house wine?
So, luckily for you, the menus are also sitting there at the table. And
Oh, not another restaurant with a QR code.
no QR code, luckily.
Thank God.
All right.
It's the worst.
All right. And then all of you see this.
Oh my God.
Oh Jesus. Sorry,
What
let me put my glasses on.
language is that?
That's okay. Is it
Is
in?
written in Infernal. So
Okay.
for those of you who do not read Infernal, you see that.
Oh,
For everyone
okay.
else,
I think this top word is appetizers. After that, I have no idea.
Pickled blind light salad, pan fried.
Cap?
Myconid cap with garlic butter, spicy shredded sturge
Sturge sliders?
sliders. I don't care what it is, just if it's what smells so good, I'm eating it. Even
Well,
if it's
there
the
seems
chicken.
to be some really particularly interesting
Ooh.
dishes that I think I might have had some of these before. Well, not particularly in this kind of setting. They've got broiled quippers in port. Quippers are a type of fish.
Oh,
Werebore, but I feel like I don't want to eat anything that was sentient at
Sentient.
any point.
deep fried miniature giant, space hamster.
How miniature though? Because I feel like regular hamsters are only like, that's really small. That's not exactly a lot of food.
But what side would a miniature giant one be?
That I don't know.
Wait, so you're saying it's a
And
miniature?
tears.
I thought those were two separate things, that there was miniature giant and space hamster. But what you're telling me is it says miniature giant space hamster. All is
Well,
like
this-
one
Well,
item
yeah,
that is
it's
like a
fried.
single.
Comma.
It says deep fried miniature giant space hamster. All
Comma.
one, yeah, comma.
There
Seasoned to
are
perfection with rosemary, basil, thyme, and
giant
tears.
hamsters in
Well,
space.
what? No, hang on. What is
I
space?
just saw
What does that
apple
mean?
tart. There's apple pie, guys.
Oh my
They have
goodness.
apple tart. I'll take
Sweet
6.
apple tart.
So are you telling me the gods have pet hamsters?
Well, the
Well,
gods
they
don't
do
live
if they
in
want
space.
to.
They live in the outer
Hamsters.
planes. What is? I never heard of this space thing.
This is
Ice
fascinating.
battered axe beak strips with a brandied plum sauce. Axe beaks is like a big chicken.
Those are actually pretty good.
You've had axe beak before?
Yes. My father did time in Icewind Dale.
Got a taste for it.
The I'm
Not
not
did time.
I'm not
He was
sure
a paladin.
what my
He
corned.
served in. Never mind.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm not sure I know what a pan-fried mycornid cap is.
it's a mushroom.
Oh, mushrooms.
Yes,
I like mushrooms.
with garlic butter. It'll be delicious, I hope. Where is that waiter?
As you are saying that, you hear a voice that says, "Hello, I'll be your server today." And as you turn, you see, is it Phoenix? It looks just like Phoenix, except incredibly well put together.
Wait, everyone sees two Phoenix, right?
Oh no, yeah, you see the original Phoenix, but this Phoenix, he looks, much
But
younger,
it's-
20, 30 years younger.
It's
He
not
is
just
in-
me.
We all see him, is the question, Doc.
Yes, everyone sees him.
Of course we do, dear. Calm down. It's all right, Tim.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you.
And then Phoenix, when you look at him, a wave of recognition washes over you as you recognize your son. And that's where we're going to stop for our break.
Oh,
Wow.
So do they teach you in DM school that just, the cliffhanger break end?
Yes, they do. I was in the same class, actually. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, gang. Well,
Oh my
it is
goodness.
8:10. So what? 8:15
8:15
Eastern. Okay, cool.
All right.
All right, we'll be back, gang.
Let me tell a tale of a world where heroes walk among us, fighting through the darkness left by monsters and by selfish men. A tale of glory rents asunder, sacrifice and battles lost. Our heroes know not what awaits them, and still they carry on. Let me sing Let me tell a tale of a world where heroes walk among us, fighting through the darkness left by monsters and by selfish men. A tale of glory rents asunder, sacrifice and battles lost. Our heroes know not what awaits them, and still they carry on. Let me sing a song of a family forged by trials and woe. On their own they falter, but together they will write their own tale of glory rent asunder, sacrifice and battles lost. Our heroes know not what awaits them, and still they carry on. What was rent shall be restored. What was lost now shall be found. The price of valor ever rising, but victory brings new rewards. Tales of glory, might, and wonder, hard-fought battles.
Okay, folks, and we're back.
Hey everyone. So, I may or may not have let's see, where is he? You just hear, you see this figure dressed quite nicely. He goes, "Dad?"
Oh shit, Dion?
Did you just say dad?
Bonnie is sitting there with her mouth hanging open.
Yeah, so he looks almost exactly like Phoenix, except about 30 years younger, 20, 30 years younger minimum, or that equivalent of proportions from dwarf to human, and incredibly well-dressed and put together, just like Phoenix never has been.
Phoenix said copy paste.
Phoenix, is that your son?
Well,
yeah,
Dad,
I guess so.
fancy seeing you here, I guess.
I was gonna say the same to you.
Oh,
How'd you end up here?
made a bad deal. Mahadi got me a better deal.
All right.
He just doesn't say anything. Yeah, no response. He's just kind of standing there awkwardly.
Raven pulls out her little notebook and goes, "Teach children not to make deals."
Phoenix, will you introduce us, please?
Sure. Folks, this is my second son, Dion. Dion, this is Bonnie and Neil and Raven and Temperance.
He gives a courteous little he gives a little half bow to each one of you as you're introduced.
So, it's lovely to meet you, Dion. You look exactly like your father, but totally different.
I'm glad you put that second part in there.
I don't want to ask you a rude question. Please forgive me and help me, because I just don't understand enough about how all of this is. I know that we came here of our choice and we're in hell, but we're alive and we're on a quest, or Are you alive?
Yeah, I'm alive.
What? How did you get here, dear?
It's a long story. I'll have to talk about it after my shift.
Oh, all right. Well,
What?
excuse me for putting you on the spot.
No, it's all right. Well, anyway, I guess I'll get your drinks. And he just like starts awkwardly taking your drink orders. I recommend the Chardonnay.
Sure, that sounds lovely.
I think I'll just opt for the tea. Thank you.
It's quite good. We pull the tea straight from Arborea.
Hmm. Thank you.
The wine.
Yeah, and as I know what you want, the stoutest port we got. Don't worry, or not port. The stoutest ale we got. We got you.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll
Yeah, I know.
take tea.
Good
He nods
choice,
at you.
Neil.
And he kind of shuffles away to go get your drinks.
Neil, tell us about. Excuse me, Phoenix. Tell us about your son. You've never mentioned your son. I've talked about mine, but you've never mentioned yours. Well, he's a
Yeah, he
fine
did.
young man.
At your kitchen table. Didn't he, or did you hide that letter?
Hid the letter.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think the person who brought it openly mentioned who it was from,
Yeah.
if I
Well,
recall
Bonnie's-
correctly.
Bonnie is looking for information. She said what she said. She's sticking by it.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's my second son, Dion.
Second?
Yeah.
How
Well,
many?
no, we're lucky it wasn't the other one.
How
Oh,
many have you got?
Well, I got 2 sons,
Oh,
do you have any daughters?
2 daughters.
Oh, how lovely to have children. That's just wonderful, Phoenix. I bet you miss them terribly. You must be so glad to see your son. He looks just like you, except different.
Yeah, well, I mean, you all know how I sort of suck, like as a person, right?
I mean,
Oh, now,
wouldn't
Phoenix.
say it exactly like that.
to be fair, I think you're pretty cool.
I've met suckier.
Mm.
Well,
You're very brave.
sure, we'll call it that. Sometimes you break things that can't be fixed, you know? Sometimes those things are relationships. I didn't used to always be a drunk and a, I don't know, gutter living piece of, well, I sort of used to be somebody. Somebody slightly, I used to be an adventure. I mean, we're on an adventure now, but I used to be an adventurer before this. And I sort of retired. My old crew had a job, sort of went sideways. We lost a few people, you know how it is. I decided it was time to settle down. So, I got married, had a few kids. And I wasn't great at it. You know, being a parent. I I guess I missed the tension, and guess I thought that my kids would, I don't know, carry on my legacy or some crap. So I pushed them pretty hard. And they mostly resented it. I think it was probably fair. So I wasn't a great husband, and I wasn't a great father, and I'm a much better gutter living bilge rat than I ever was at that. So, you know, once the kids were grown, the wife threw me out. My oldest son beat the ever-loving hell out of me. She took everything. I deserved it. I went to Baldur's Gate. Joined the Fist or whatever to pay for my, you know, booze and whatever horse stall I could crawl into to fall asleep at the end of the night. Dion there, my second, was never much interested in the adventure in life, and I held that against him, and he held that against me. He wanted to open a tavern. And, you know, I guess he did. I don't know. I haven't seen him. Pretty long time. Not brave. Put yourself in danger, because you ain't got nothing left to live for.
I think that depends on your perspective.
I guess.
You could just, and you could just not, and I would say that that's more cowardly than putting yourself in danger.
I guess.
I mean, you are a bit reckless about it, which I think we've all noticed, but still a choice to do that.
And you are trying to help people.
Yeah. I guess I just kind of fell ass backwards into this.
Pretty sure we all did.
Yeah.
You haven't run, and you haven't been drunk enough to be useless. You've actually saved our asses more than once.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I ain't trying to get y'all killed.
Oh, Phoenix. So if you weren't to come back from this one because you did something outlandish and risky, you would feel like you were a success?
No. I don't think the word success is anywhere left in my future. Whatever successes I had are long since past. I don't know that I could tell you why I'm doing it this way, I guess. It's just the only thing I was ever good at. And it seems like a
Opportunity.
way to go out doing it. I don't know.
You fell ass backwards into a plot that's gotten us all in hell where your son happens to be.
Yeah.
Could be an opportunity. Dwarves are awfully long-lived. You have time to make things right if you want to.
I mean, maybe that's how I'm a coward then. Not running from danger, but I feel like folks made it pretty clear they didn't want me around. So, I ain't around.
You said this was years and years ago, though, right? How long ago was it?
So,
When you left? When was the last time you saw Dion?
well, those are two different questions.
Well, answer them both.
Sure, I guess my fallout with my oldest one and the rest of them all sort of happened, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago. Dion left us long before that. Maybe it's been 20 years now.
20 years is a long time. It's longer than I've been alive.
Well,
20 years is a
dwarves-
long time. People
Dwarves
change.
live for a long time.
But people change in that time regardless of how long they live. How do you know that he doesn't want you around? He's in hell, for God's sake. Said he made a bad deal.
I mean, did it seem like he wanted me around?
Well, you weren't exactly helping the situation. Not that you're the chattiest at the best of times.
Yeah.
I think it's worth talking to him.
Do you even know his reason for leaving? Because sometimes
I mean,
those reasons keep us away longer than expected.
we had a big fight when he told me he didn't want to be an adventurer. He wanted to run a tavern or whatever.
So he set out to prove himself.
I guess.
I mean, he is working in a very nice tavern. Not the best location, but a very nice tavern nonetheless.
There's too many forks on the table for this to be a tavern, but I get the gist.
It's about this time that he comes back and starts just putting your drinks in front of you. He doesn't really say anything other than, do we know what we want for an appetizer? You can get one each or split one for the table.
What would you recommend?
Well, I think all of them are pretty good, but my favorite is definitely got to be the pan-fried macadamia cap with garlic butter.
That's
I'm
what
not
I
much
was
of a
thinking.
salad man myself, but people who like it said that the pickled vine blight salad's pretty good.
Do you make the same faces at vegetables that your dad does?
He kind of just turns his head. I don't, whatever. Yeah, sure.
The mushrooms and the spicy sliders.
Nods.
And we'll split them?
Well, you can
Sounds
all order
good.
one for yourself as an individual portion, or we could bring out the family style. We
Oh,
know
let's
Phoenix
do-
doesn't want the family style, but the rest of you can have it.
It's been a long time since you've seen your dad, hasn't it?
Well, I figured I'd see him down here sooner or later.
He's been an enormous help to us. He has saved
Oh,
us.
good to know. Wow, it's good to hear. He's doing something.
I mean, I can say definitely that I can speak as somebody that would have some difficulty seeing their dad again, given the last time that I saw mine, he tried to kill me. But I think he's as confused as you are at this.
So you want the stirred sliders or the vine blight salad?
I'm not a fan of salad myself.
Okay, so you
I think I'll have the mushrooms.
Okay, cool. So we got the sliders, sub the sturge with the mushrooms. Got another order of the mushrooms.
the
Dad, what did you
salad.
want? The salad, all right. Okay, I know you want another beer, but what else do you want?
Sliders, I guess.
All right. Ma'am, you?
Me?
Yeah, what would you like?
Well, I'll try the vine blight salad so we can have some
Oh.
of everything.
Excellent choice. It's really good. He notes it down, says, I'll be back in a few minutes to get you order. He leaves.
I think that went quite well.
He's got the Phoenix charm for sure.
Does Bonnie actually flinch when Neil says that his dad tried to kill him?
Oh, yeah.
Raven will kind of lean over and kind of pat her arm and go, it's a goblin thing. They're the absolute worst parents.
Oh no, that wasn't a typical goblin thing.
Really? That's
Oh,
worse than
yeah.
a typical goblin thing?
Yeah,
Oh, that's scary.
yeah.
Do you want to talk about it, Neil? You don't have to.
Well, no, it's not really all too interesting, and I think we have bigger things to deal with Phoenix. But the long and short of it is just the basics. Phoenix, have you ever encountered goblin tribes before?
Yeah.
Yeah, the parents are particularly bad. And you're certainly not as bad as most of them. Well, goblins have to go through a ritual when they become adults. I say a ritual. It's more like they're expected to kill somebody. And they wanted me to do that too.
Oh,
Yeah, that's how I met Zareth.
that's how you met who, dear?
Zareth, my friend.
Zaris, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's who I was meant to kill.
Oh,
But yeah.
Here's your vine blight salad, ma'am.
oh, thank you. Looks
And
delicious.
then one for you.
Does it
Got
look
the
delicious?
mushrooms over here. It does look really
Okay.
good. So the myconid cap, it takes up the entire dinner plate as so let me go ahead and describe this. So the vine blight, the interesting thing is the salad is still wriggling. It is not stationary, but it is still like kind of whipping through as it is moving a little bit. You could smell the vinaigrette with some little red tomato garnishes here and there, as well as some other onions and other little salad pieces, and what looks to be some very crisp croutons throughout. The myconid cap is full on the size of a dinner plate. And it is just one large full dinner plate size cap that has been roasted and is covered with a steamy garlic butter that you can smell from where you are. Phoenix, your sliders are immaculately beautiful little sliders, no bigger around than this, and with each one having a little cut of meat perfectly cut and placed there, along with some kind of white cheese and what looks to be a pretzel bun. Yes, and then and for Raven, you have the same, except for instead of that, you very obviously have cuttings of the mushrooms that have been replaced to substitute the meat on theirs.
I eat meat.
Oh, I thought you said you wanted it with the mushroom cap.
Nope, I wanted one of each.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, then you have one slider and then a half plate, literally just cut down the middle of the other. Sorry, I thought you wanted like substitute the
No,
substitute the
I
meat for the
am
other.
not a vegetarian druid.
Okay.
Circle
Gotcha,
of
all right.
life.
Bonnie, you should have asked for your salad. Well done.
Temperance just takes the largest fork out of the selection of forks, which Haley knows is not the salad fork, and tries to stab the
Yeah.
vines.
And as you do, it wraps itself around the fork.
That's
A bite serves
disconcerting.
itself to you.
Oh, it's like fresh squid or fresh octopus.
I think Bonnie tries to eat the tomatoes and the bits and pieces or whatever, and she's leaving what's squirgling
So
around the vine.
as you reach in for a tomato, you see as the vines kind of wrap around and hand you the tomato. They push it up for you.
Oh, thank you, dear.
This is a little creepy.
Bonnie
if-
leaves the cutlery alone and takes the tomato in her fingers and chews on it. What does it taste like?
And how Denethor of you.
Yeah.
Denethor, I call him Little Tomato. Not a real king,
Thank
by the
you.
way. Not
I
the king of
knew that-
Gondor.
I knew. Okay, man, I am in the right group to be making that.
Neil stood at the side of the room in a tiny little cape, just singing into the wall.
Oh, God. So perfect.
Anyway,
As if processing trauma from past lives dealing with otherworldly mushrooms, Raven just sort of stabs the cap to slice into it.
yeah.
How spicy are the sliders?
So I'm gonna start off. Temperance. You take the bite of the salad, and it is immaculate. It has a subtle vinegary sourness to it, but with a sweet undertone that accents as an aftertaste. One of the croutons is so crisp and light and crunches in your mouth perfectly. It might be the best thing you've ever eaten.
This is amazing. This is only the appetizer.
As you take the myconid cap and put a mouthful in, it starts to melt in your mouth. You can feel the butter running off the side. The crisp mushroom is cooked to perfection, and instead of being like the rubbery texture that mushrooms can get, it is a perfect soft, but maybe just the slightest crisp on the outside where there's a char. And it is, once again, incredible. Some of the best food you've ever had.
Bonnie chows down.
Yeah, it is so good. And Phoenix and Raven, as you take a bite of the slider, it is not just hot, but hot. It's a good thing you have your ring of fire resistance.
Well, and Raven also naturally has
Temperance
fire
is a
resistance,
tiefling,
right?
Yeah. Yeah. So no checks to make, but it is. You got the atomic sauce at the wing place. It is.
I feel like
but it is not spicy to the point where the flavor doesn't come through. It has a robust, beautiful flavor profile to complement the heat.
Her eyes go really wide because this is the first time she's never had to put hot sauce on anything to make it taste right.
I
And
feel
then
like
she reminds Temper she's using the wrong fork.
I feel like
Didn't
Phoenix
know
like
which one was the right one.
starts out
Picks up
just
the
like
salad fork and holds it to her.
I feel like Phoenix starts out just like nibbling it for show, but once he realizes it's painful to eat, he eats it like he's punishing himself.
That tracks.
So sad.
Neil has taken a bite out of the mushroom and is placing the remainder into the napkin. And wrapping it up.
He's gonna steal the cloth napkin.
I
don't recommend doing that.
No.
Stealing the cloth napkin at the Applebee's is bad.
It's
They
a
have
little,
cloth napkins.
it's a little bit too big for me.
I'm sure they have doggy boxes. You're not supposed to take
As
napkins.
At that point, Dion comes back around. Well, have you had a chance to look at the main dish?
I think we have, but I have a question for you.
Is it about the relationship with my father?
No, actually.
Okay, then I will
It's-
happily take the question.
The question is, you made a comment about when you get off your shift, about how long is your shift until your shift ends?
Another couple hours.
All right. Thank you. That was my question.
Anyway.
And I'm going to get the axe beak for the main.
Well, and I have a
Joyce.
question too.
All right.
What is a miniature giant space hamster?
Well, giant space hamsters live inside the crystal shards beyond the atmosphere of the planes, and some of them live in some of the realms. The giant space hamsters can get up to be the size of, oh, I don't know, can be up to the size of an elephant if you get it right.
Oh my!
And the miniature ones can get real small, but these are only the size of, you know, a small horse.
That's miniature?
Well, miniature compared to the giant space hamsters, yeah.
Wow. It's fascinating.
Well, I think that's what I'm going to try. I've always liked deep fried foods.
It's a good choice, ma'am.
If you do decide you want to talk about your relationship with your father, I'll be there for it.
What can I get for you, ma'am? Or anyone, really. Anything that gets her to stop talking about that.
Are your meat products sourced responsibly?
Do you want the food or not?
I'll have the roasted war.
Oh, that's a good choice. He starts writing it down. All right,
I'll take
gentlemen.
I'll take a small portion of the axe beak. Do you also possibly have a box that I could take any leftovers away in?
Oh, don't worry. That's part of the full service.
I've just
Although
I've put
once
these
you take
pieces
the
in the
food out of
napkin.
here, the flavor will change. So I recommend eating your fill while you're here.
Do you mean here, like the restaurant, or here, like
Yeah, the
market?
restaurant.
Oh, well,
The
I've changed my
restaurant.
mind. Instead of that, could I have 2 servings of the sweet apple tart, please? One for main and one for dessert.
I can do that for you.
Really good choice.
And then, without acknowledging you too much, he just kind of looks over at you, Phoenix.
Hamster. Please.
Hamster it is. I had a hamster once. And then he turns and leaves.
Oh, I hope to God it wasn't that hamster.
Oh,
No.
Phoenix, what did you do to his hamster?
I didn't do nothing to his hamster.
Okay.
Did he take it with him or leave it behind?
Oh, it was dead long before he left. Name was Bingo.
Oh,
He got out of the cage.
yeah.
The cat got him.
Oh no! What was the cat's name?
Bongo.
Spongo?
No, the hamster's name was Bingo and the cat's name was Bongo.
Bongo.
Oh, that's
Bingo,
cute.
Bongo.
No, bongo. Oh my god. That's good. That's good.
I mean, I understand hamsters are particularly delicious. I would understand why the cat might want to eat a hamster.
Have you seen the stuff cats will eat?
Yeah. They'll eat anything.
Yeah. You know, in the docks of Baldur's Gate, there's quite a lot of cats.
I'm not surprised
Very
by
few
that.
hamsters. Oh, no, I'm just kidding.
Some of them are actually cats.
Ugh.
Oh my god.
So, a few minutes later, your mains start to come out. For those of you who got miniature giant space hamster It looks like a chicken leg, but y'all seen the Flintstones? You know the Brontosaurus leg that comes out then? It's not quite that big. It's only like, we're talking like the state
Disney
fair,
turkey leg.
Yeah, Disney turkey legs, but probably even bigger than that. But
Whoa.
that and it, yeah, and it is sitting in a bed of in just a bed of mashed potatoes, along with there's a bunch of seasonings. You can see that it is as they place it down there, and then for those of you with the axe beak. It is a, you can see it is, again, looks fantastic. Looks very similar to chicken with a purplish reddish sauce that is nicely presented on top of it and a side of scalloped potatoes. And then lastly, those in front of you, Raven, you have this again, okay. You seen the like 1960s The Grinch That Stole Christmas?
Yeah.
You know the roast beast at the end of that? It looks like that, and it's about that size as they plunk this enormous, just huge cut of ham in front of you. And along with just a small thing of greens on the side. And as the parade of servers are all putting you down, they're putting napkins around your neck, brushing crumbs off of you, refilling your drinks, just again pampering you to no end. Phoenix, you've noticed that as you look down that there is someone shining your shoes. And they started out with a toothbrush and they now have like a full-on broom that they are using to scrape it as hard as they can. But this place is full service as they are bringing your food out. Be our guest from Beauty and the Beast style.
Raven kind of makes a point of picking up the dinner knife and the dinner fork and showing people how to hold it correctly.
Temperance is very carefully watching and is doing like the Little Mermaid, like mimicking, like
Dingle
reaching
hopper.
for the wrong
Hard in
one,
an
but then
obedience
reaching for
class.
the right one. Yeah.
Phoenix has
Love it.
just like fully laid his head down on the down on the table, and he's just reaching up and like picking pieces off and just eating it.
I'm still waiting on my apple tart.
Yeah, and then
Very patient.
as your apple tart comes out, they set it in front of you. And at first you're like, why did they bring the whole apple? And you realize that it is not. The pastry is in the shape of an apple with a golden brown tart on the outside in this ever so sheen of a caramel glaze.
Oh, that
I'm
looks
literally
delicious.
just both hands in, just
And as you take that bite,
That's the dessert spoon.
and as you take that bite, the first thing that hits you is the sweetness of the caramel, and then the flakiness of the pastry, and the tartness of the apple in succession, and then it starts just rolling over your tongue and combining. It is truly beyond words how good this is.
Excuse me while I start scrolling Uber Eats.
I would just look at Bonnie and just, while literal tears are rolling down his face, like with sheer joy, just say, "Bonnie, your apple pie is definitely better than this one."
Oh, Neil, you're so sweet.
Tears of pure joy rolling down his face.
Yeah, got it.
Oh, Neil.
I'm not even.
insight checking that one.
Do you know what? I'm
Not
literally. I'm
required.
going to take the deception check just for disadvantage.
I'm gonna say at
Just to see.
disadvantage.
Oh,
a
Bonnie
3.
knows. Bonnie's not dumb. Bonnie knows good and well what's going on, but
Aw.
she's just loving him for it. I'll have to try it
So you
too,
eat your
Neil.
food. Again, it is so good. Good beyond words. It is food none of you have ever had the like of before. And you're not sure if you'll ever have anything like it again unless you decide to come back.
This has ruined me for food forever.
It's almost terrifying the fact that this tiny little tiefling finishes the entire thing.
The boar, so the wereboar is like the best cut of Iberico ham that you've ever had,
Oh.
with a salty crust on the outside that cracks as you cut into it, and this super rich and moist ham on the inside.
Oh, this is better than any of those stupid dinners my mother drugged me to.
I mean, I did
Oh.
suggest that we could get food in Avernus that would be somewhat similar to what you're eating right now, but everyone said, "Oh no, Neil, that's gross. You can't do that. That's inappropriate." But when Raven does it,
Now.
So at this point, Dean comes back. Well, guys, how's your food? Everything come out all right?
Oh, it's delicious. Thank you so much. You know, your father still remembers the name of your hamster, and he's very
It
sorry
goes-
about Bongo.
It looks like, well, he kept that memory and forgot his table manners. And then he leaves again.
he really does have your sense of humor, Phoenix.
He's very attractive.
Well, you know he's a dwarf. They age differently than humans. You're probably around the same age.
Oh, really?
Phoenix is just dissociating as hard as possible.
So they, and then as you guys are finishing, well, have we saved room for dessert? We know this one has. He points to Neil, who's like grabby hands looking for another one.
Oh, I must try the apple tart. Neil has said it's almost as good as mine.
It is quite good. That's probably my favorite too. Although I've heard that the stench cow cheese is good as well. If you are a fan of of cheeses.
Oh, I go for the sweets every time, but thank you.
Candied
Yes,
spider
and,
eyes.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm getting the apple tart too.
Mm-hmm.
You all should be some more adventurous. We're in hell. Eat the hell
Did
foods.
you look at that tart though? Like, how can you not how can you pass that up? Also, spider eyes feels a little.
I mean, you
Well, it
were a
is a
I'll have a
spider.
bite. I'll have a bite of yours.
I mean,
It is
I
a
mean-
phase spider. It's a little different, but
I mean,
Still, are there
Raven,
still 8
you were
legs? 'Cause
literally, you were a
too many.
spider this morning.
Yeah, and
Does that not feel strange to you to be?
I can also transform into a chicken and I still eat Bonnie's omelets.
Dad, what did you want?
I'll do the cheese selection.
It smells like you too. And then he'll walk away.
Oh, Phoenix, he still remembers how you smell. That's so sweet.
No, I
That
think
was
he can just
savage.
smell.
That was pretty brutal.
So a few minutes later, you guys are starting to slow down. So this time, as the apples come out, these apples are a little smaller than the portions that it looks like they had for his main. However, it is served a la mode with a vanilla bean with actual little vanilla bean garnishes on top with the a la mode, and some more of that caramel that is drizzled all over the ice cream as well.
You are
the-
killing us, Doc.
Listen, my creative writing minor has got to come out every once in a while. Damn it! I got this, and I'm going. I have to use it somehow. Anyway, the cheese board that is provided in front of Phoenix, it is so. First of all, It is on a wrought iron board, completely black iron, with 5 or 6 different types of cheeses of varying consistencies, a couple of little other cracker-like accompaniments, and then a series of small toothpicks to use to put them together. I'm sure they will be used properly. And then lastly, we see stacked in a pyramidal shape, we see 9 eyes, the about a little smaller around than a golf ball. But what's interesting is the entire plate will look empty for a second as it will blink out of existence and then come back in with its shape. These gleaming red orbs that are set in front of Raven.
So like that little French tower of pastries with the drizzle.
Mm-hmm. Yep. As you pick one up, it's hard shelled, and as you bite into it, it has what seems like to be a ganache, a red ganache on the inside of it.
Croquembouche.
Yes, thank you.
I knew-
Does
I
she
couldn't
put
remember
hot
the name.
sauce on it?
No, no, this food
Um,
is too good for hot sauce.
And once again, this is in fact the greatest meal you have ever had in your life. And having finished your meal, you get the benefits of a hero's feast.
Yes.
Oh,
sweet.
yay.
Damn.
So, if you would like, feel free to roll 2d10, and your hit point maximum is increased by that for 24 hours, along with having resistance to poison damage and immunity to the frightened and poison condition.
Okay, I need a repeat on that, please, because I need to write it down. Okay, can't be frightened.
You are immune to frighten and poison. And your resistance to poison damage. And your hit point maximum goes up to 2d10, or goes up 2d10 for 24 hours, including a long rest. So even after the long rest, you get 24 full hours.
So 2d10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Roll.
Resistance.
could've
I'll
been
let you
better.
know when the 24 hours has gone up.
Okay. Oh crap.
I will go
Got
ahead and
it.
be nice
Okay,
and say you
hang
can
on. Sorry,
reroll
I had
one.
a I had a hiccup with audio and missed like the last 30 seconds. So sorry.
I was just describing how Heroes Feast works.
Okay.
So yeah, go ahead and roll 2d10, and you can reroll ones on that.
Okay. I got 12. 7 plus 5.
4.
4. That sucks.
10.
10. Nice.
9. 9 for Bonnie.
I got 7.
Okay, I thought you said you got 4. I was gonna be like, damn, that is bad
Oh.
luck. 7's not much better, but
It's a 3 and a 4, so
that's still bad, but
yeah, it's
not
not
as
great.
bad.
not as bad, but
Okay. As you they're polishing up your drinks one more time as Dion comes around. Well, it seems like you've enjoyed yourself. Was everything up to your liking?
This is brilliant. Who is your
it was
chef?
amazing.
Oh, well, I'll send the chef the compliments.
Did you ask him if he has a cherry pie option?
I will recommend that to the menu, but I would not recommend too many alterations. He can get a little testy.
Yeah.
It is a prefix menu. All right. Well, there is no bill today, as you are Mahadi's guests for some reason unknown to man and God. But so enjoy your stay in the Wandering Emporium.
So you said a couple hours until you're off shift.
Well, it's probably only about an hour after
About
this
an hour.
now.
Okay.
If that. This is a full like multi-course meal, and
Got
you've
it.
been in here for over an hour. Like probably getting close to 2 hours.
So you said it's probably what, an hour until you get off shift?
Yeah, somewhere around that.
So I have some questions for you, but I don't want to take up your time while you're working.
Are they about the relationship between my father and I?
No, it's about you. I have questions. I'm curious.
Okay, that's fair enough, I guess.
So can we just meet you just outside, or what makes the most sense?
Oh, well, just the two of us? Yeah, I can do that.
Great. Thanks. Wasn't my intention, but that's fine.
He's smiling a little bit more. He's like, this hasn't happened in years. As he kind of walks away.
Do I get the sense that if I left a tip on this table, he would get it?
You have absolutely no idea, but it's entirely likely that it would happen.
I have anything to write with or on.
I mean, there's the napkin.
I have quill and parchment that I slide over to Phoenix while I am giving Temperance the advice that she overheard her brother and his friends discussing about dating dwarves.
Oh, that's not what I actually intended. I just wanted to get some information for Phoenix.
I believe that
It's
they
like
like
shit
ladies with
information.
beards.
She just eavesdropped on her older brother, and this is what she remembers hearing.
Oh, Phoenix is going to write a little note on the parchment.
Oh.
And it says, for Dion. And then in parentheses, if Dion doesn't get this, I will know and I will kill you. And then he leaves that and his last soul coin on the table.
Damn.
Bonnie,
Yes, Neil?
do you think there's anything we could do to, like, fix this?
Honestly, Neil, I don't. I think that damage can only be resolved by them. But I took a stab because it's what a mom does. I'm sorry, Neil. Could one talking across the table reconcile things with you and your father who tried to kill you?
No, my mum also tried to kill me too. And my grandblends. And my brothers.
Could an apple
And my
tart fix
sisters.
that? One apple tart, Neil?
I mean, if I hit them with it hard enough, maybe.
Enough said.
I just don't think they have the logic, you know?
Neil, there have been many surprises on this adventure that I've had with you, and one of them is that I begin to realize that you're much older than I thought you were.
Well, yeah, I am. Well,
I thought you were just a...
Well, how old do you think I
Strapping
am,
youth.
Bonnie?
Well, I thought you were probably less than 20 years old, that you were just a youngster.
Jesus, I'm not
And-
that old. How old do you think I am?
Well, I don't know how goblin years work. I thought you were very young, a very young goblin, and yet you're acting or
Well,
beginning to...
I'm not a young goblin. I'm fairly decent, but I'm not that old.
Neil,
Can we
I'm-
hear any of this between you
Yeah,
two?
well, at this point, you probably.
Yeah, I think
you're
after
gonna get
writing
to
his
a
note,
point.
Phoenix has left. So Phoenix is outside
Ah.
the restaurant and not privy to any of this business.
Neil,
She thinks you're around the same age as me and Tempe.
Well, yeah, I am. Well, I guess. Wait, how old are you and Tempe?
17.
18.
Oh God, I'm not that old. I'm 12.
But we're still young for our
Well,
species.
now you have presented yourself as being older in some of the parts of this, unless I misremember.
Well, no, I'm 12.
In human years?
So how?
what-
I've
yeah,
not
I-
known too many goblins. How long is like? What would like a really old goblin, like? How old would that be? Like, what's a lifespan?
like,
I have no
oh,
idea.
my our elder before I let before what happened to him happened, our elder was 13.
All right. So why I asked the question, Neil,
13 or 30?
Oh, 13.
I think they'd be a little bit older than that because
Probably
goblins
older than that.
can live up to like 20,
Okay.
25 maybe. But anyway, but
the
that's
reason
neither
that
here nor
Bonnie
there.
ever asked the question in the first place was to say, Neil, you seem to be a little older than I thought you were. Do you have children?
Oh my God, no. Oh,
Then it would be hard for you to understand how badly a parent would feel.
yeah, I suppose.
It sounds as though goblin parents don't feel badly.
Oh,
But
no,
I
when they're trying
remember
to kill you.
every mistake I ever made with Shay before he left. And it haunts me. And no matter what Phoenix might say and how he doesn't care and he just wants to go out there in a blaze of glory, having failed to the nth degree.
To be clear, he said nothing about glory. Glory was not a part of the question.
Shut up. Outside.
Clarification for the
A
folks at
voice from
home
the beyond.
that Bonnie is inserting the glory bit.
The old fart feels badly about it, all right?
It's about this time that that someone comes up to Temperance and says, "Ma'am, this is was asked to be delivered to you," and you have a glass of a very fine wine that is set right there, and you see over at what you see now. You didn't realize that there was a bar over there, and he's just kind of sitting there, and he kind of looks over at you like,
Dion.
"Yeah, yeah, Dion." Mhm.
Oh, boy.
Right. Well, this is about to get so awkward.
You're telling me Phoenix could be your father-in-law.
Oh God. I mean, he's not here.
Insert Marvin Gaye. Let's get it on.
What stays in hell, or what happens in hell stays in hell.
Right.
That's generally true. At least you better hope it does.
Oh God.
When it doesn't, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Well, if
no
you
kidding.
go to Bernie's tent, yeah, definitely will.
I don't know if it works the same way, but just keep in mind, you could end up with something that looks like me in 9 months.
Don't. That's no. And she's just gonna leave. She'll take the glass of wine and leave. Like walk over to where he is, but
Yeah. Goes. So, well, it's good to see you. Sorry you have to been hanging out with my dad. I know it has to be miserable.
it's not actually. It's
You're too nice.
I'm really not. It has its moments for sure, but I don't mind it, and he's actually quite funny a lot of the time.
That's true, but it's not just the way he smells.
you should have been in the bathhouse with us. That was quite an interesting day.
Oh, I can imagine. But anyway,
Yeah,
how do you end up in hell?
That's a long story.
You and everyone else
Always
is here.
It's true, but I mean, it's okay. So, Elturel got sucked into hell, and we're trying to
I
help
heard about
it,
that.
and it's a
Oh,
whole
really?
thing. Yes, it's oddly enough, we're doing the job for the fist.
Baldur's Gate. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird, it's like I said, a long story, and
All right, so Elturel's down here. Was Percy down here?
was Percy in Elturel?
Well, he's a Hell Rider. At least that's what I heard.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen him or met anybody named Percy. Is Percy
My
your brother?
my older brother, yeah.
We haven't met him.
He sent me a letter, or tried to send me. He sent me a sending spell, and then I didn't answer. But the telling me that he and his wife had become Hell Riders, and that he could always find me in Elturel.
Well, I hope he wasn't in Elturel when it came down here, because I don't think it was a very good time for a lot of the Hell Riders.
More like Hellturel, and he slaps his knee. He thinks he's killing it.
It's clever. How long have you been here?
About 5 years.
5 years, and how'd you end up here?
Well, I overheard Dad telling you that I wanted to start a tavern. I did. It wasn't doing too well. Someone came in, said that he would buy the tavern out for me, and it would and he would help manage it. So I signed the contract.
Did
You
read
seeing
it?
where this went? No, I did not, in fact, read it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't listen. I don't know if my dad can read or not. I can read, I promise you, but I didn't. I just assumed it was, he was gonna be doing the managing stuff, and I got to mix drinks, and well, it wasn't a very good contract. And then Mahadi offered to buy me out of that contract, and then I worked for him for a period of 50 years. But that was
50
better than
years.
but that was better than my immortal soul. And luckily for him, I'm quite good at this buttling stuff. I was not on my top game for you guys. Sorry about that.
It was
Situations be what they were.
extenuating circumstances, I understand. So you got 4 years to go, and it's all in
Really
this
frozen,
restaurant.
Kaylee.
Oh,
Oh, there you go. You're
gross.
back.
Okay.
That was weird.
Just that whole
Lord
sentence.
knows.
Yeah.
It's okay. It happens.
You sounded like Phoenix there for a minute.
I'm not surprised. There's probably a cloud passing over my satellite or something.
Someone
Um,
breathed too hard in the house. So.
something like that. Who knows?
Yeah.
So 45 years you've got left then, in this
Yeah.
restaurant here.
Yep.
Well, do you at least get to eat the food? Because it's amazing.
I do. Yeah, I do get to eat a lot of the food here. Not all the time, but it's whatever is left. But that's still considering what it's like in the rest of hell, this is a pretty cushy gig.
Yes, I would say so, especially you get to be in here where it's nice and cool. I would love to know how they do that.
And I still get to keep my immortal soul, which, I mean, assuming I don't go to hell for other reasons, which could be a case, but, at least it's not bound and determined to go there.
It's true.
When I get out of here, I might be able to go do something with my life, assuming I can get back up to, well, literally anywhere.
When you said you had a sending spell from Percy, how long ago was that?
Well, wasn't that long ago, maybe 2-3 months. And that would track with not too long before Phoenix got his letter.
Okay.
He was always good at the whole fighting thing, but I never took him as a church-going man.
Well, my understanding of the Hell Riders is that it's not so much about faith as it is protecting people.
Yeah, it depends on which one of them you get to, but yeah.
Did you talk to any of your other family?
Yeah. No.
Didn't get along with them?
I left before Dad did.
Why did you leave? Just to get away from everyone, or for your tavern?
He wanted me to go and work with his dumbass friends. Go do some job or something. And I told him I didn't want to do that. I was a mixologist. I'm a serviceman here to do the finer things in life. I don't stab people for a living. At least, well, okay, I do that sometimes, but that's side anyway. But that's not. Well, I'm not an adventuring type, and he didn't like that. And so I told him to put it where the sun don't shine, and that I'd make my way in the world. And I guess we both ended up here, so I'm not sure who was right and who was wrong.
I feel like that's how many things end up anyway.
Well, whatever. As I said, I always figured I'd see him down here, but I figured he'd be a larvae down there by the river Styx when he was here, so...
No, he's keeping the rest of us safe, to be honest.
Sitting in the chair. Looks about the same as them slugs.
Well, you know how you said it wasn't your finest service because of circumstances. I will tell you, this is not exactly his finest moment either, for similar circumstances.
I'm not convinced he's had a finest moment.
No, certainly it's been better than today.
Fair enough, I guess.
But he's kept the rest of us safe, so, you know, can't fault him for that.
More than he ever did for me.
You did choose to leave, though.
Yes, and he was going to send me out onto an adventure to raid some temple or dungeon. I picked the safer option.
It's probably true, but I would assume he had tried to train you to keep you safe, right? He wasn't going to send you out there without any skills. You said you do still stab people on occasion when it calls for it.
You know, gotta know how to protect yourself in hell.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You didn't learn that on your own.
That's true. But either way, well, I was kind of surprised as you see him. He pulls out the note that Phoenix read, that Phoenix wrote. I can't believe he didn't spend it on alcohol. He tucks it back in his pocket.
I did see him sell a health potion to buy alcohol once. That was
Yeah.
entertaining.
You should have seen what he did to Bingo. Or was it Bongo? I don't remember.
Is that the cat?
Yeah, the cat.
Do I want to? I don't know that I want to know.
No, you do not want to know.
All right, that's fair. I'm going to leave that one alone. Well, it's been lovely chatting with you, and thank you for the wine and
of course. And he goes in for a hug.
Give awkward leaning like.
Yeah, and he of course pulls it a little too tight in an awkward way, and then gives a couple back slaps while he's at it.
That's
well, you know where to find me. I'd love to see you again sometime.
Thank you. I will. I'll keep that in mind. It was lovely chatting with you. And
then he closes his eyes, kind of starts to lean in. As
she'll just walk away.
Yes, no game. I think, it's good that Phoenix didn't see any of that, because I think that would have been actually him realizing his truly greatest failure. Is praising his son with absolutely no game whatsoever. Oh. He's the charismatic one of the bunch. Jesus.
No, I believe.
Well, I guess the oldest sister is probably more charismatic. But...
Yes, for him. And listen, that also doesn't mean that, persuasion skills are not always translating to game. So.
It's fair.
Anyway, maybe it's proficiency in deception, not in persuasion.
That would probably track better, yeah.
So, anyway. Yeah, as that happens, so she comes out of the tent. The rest of you are feeling full and quite good. Although
Phoenix is not
Raven,
feeling quite good.
Raven, you are feeling a jumbly sensation that you realize are the spider eggs phasing in and out of your stomach.
Gross.
It makes her giggle.
Hmm.
I think
So
we
you
might
guys all
need
meet up
to,
outside in the cool breeze outside the doorway.
Raven
I
just
think-
kind of standing there, like when you have a gas bubble and she's just kind of poking it.
Raven, are you all right?
I think the eyes keep wanting to go back to the Feywild.
I'm really glad I chose the tart.
Oh, it was marvelous.
So good.
I've never made a tart anywhere near that good, but thank you so much for fibbing, Neil.
No, I was telling the truth.
Of course you were, dear.
while he's like looking off into the distance, like remembering the pie.
Both pies.
Or both pies, yeah.
Having
Both
that
of
dream
them.
sequence of him in the tart in a field of heather.
It's, it's like Scrat in, Ice Age.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's so
love it.
good.
And I don't know about everybody else, but I think it could be a good time to maybe just hunker down. It's been a long day.
It has.
Mhm.
And I'm afraid that the ones from now on are going to be equally long. So perhaps we should.
That's probably the last decent meal we're going to have unless we stumble upon this caravan again.
I mean, it could also be a good opportunity, Phoenix, that you might be able to maybe go and speak to Dion.
I don't know, Neil.
I don't know what you could say to him, to be perfectly honest.
As long as you don't ask him to stab you with a dagger like he did with me, then I'm sure that anything other than that is pretty much better.
No, he'd be very happy to do that.
Oh.
Well, maybe not. Who knows?
I did have a bit of a chat with him, and he mentioned that Percy was in El Terrell not that long ago and had reached
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, he's
And his
probably
wife,
down here
they were
somewhere.
hell riders.
Yeah, they wrote me before all this started.
Wait. I wonder if Shay and Percy were friends, Bonnie.
Oh,
The timeline wouldn't have matched up on that one.
Shay
So-
disappeared before I left El Terrell 5 years ago.
Mhm.
You know,
And they
if I
had just
had,
joined up a few months ago.
if I had any chance at all, any chance of ever getting an opportunity to speak to Shay one more time, even if he wouldn't hear me and he wouldn't look at me, I'd take it.
I'm sure you'll get it.
You
Well, I-
guys,
Hope you get that chance, Bonnie.
Thank
Hmm.
you. Thank you, Finn.
Mahadi offers you a tent inside the Emporium for you to bed down safely for the evening, free of charge.
Did we
It's
catch the
pretty
name of that
barren.
lady that with the well, I guess did Temperance catch the name of that lady with the tent?
Bernie.
Bernie,
Bernie,
yeah.
Okay. I was wondering if we
Yeah.
should maybe ask Mahadi about that whole situation. Although he'll probably try
So-
to charge us for the information, so
So, yeah. So you guys start to bed down, and Neil, you just hear a little voice in your head that says, "Friend, feel free to come by whenever for a private conversation."
I shall wait until everybody's settled down, and then I'm gonna sneak myself away.
Yeah, not hard. Plus the bathroom's outside, so it's an easy excuse. As you come up to Mahadi, "My friend, I understand the precariousness of your situation. So over here, and he waves his hand, and this beautiful doorway appears. Come in."
I will head in and follow it.
Yeah, and as you walk through the doorway, you walk into this grand mansion. It is probably 3 stories all the way up with arched ceiling, stained glass everywhere. You see a dozen servants bustling by doing things. and he leads you over to a cushioned seat next to a fireplace. Of course, it is very comfortable in here. Sit, friend.
I take a look around and say, I feel like I might have heard of a spell that works somewhat like this.
Oh, you're aware. I learned it from the man himself.
You did?
I sure did.
Oh, that's pretty amazing. I learned all of my abilities and my magic from a really, really nice wizard.
That's wonderful. Now, anyways, what did you want? Let's see. Assuming you wanted to change the terms.
Yeah. I'd like to go through the terms and I have a very specific request.
I assume you hand him the counter proposal that you have provided.
I certainly will.
He reads over it and says, 1 for 1. This is an acceptable term. Now, just so you know, if party B is not available, the whole deal will be null and void.
Is there a way for, if the party B is unavailable, that another party B would be selectable in that circumstance?
That is possible.
Um,
Write down the next
and-
name.
Yes, given the
Okay.
next name.
All right. And then it would not be null and void unless both do not fit. So A is first, B is secondary, and then if neither, deal is void. Agreed?
Correct.
All righty. He reaches to shake your hand.
I reach out. and
As you
his
shake
hand.
his hand, you feel your name getting scrolled across the bottom in your hand, and you feel as a prick of blood runs down your finger across the page, signing it, the contract.
I just look at him and say, feels good to do the right thing.
Feels good to make a deal. You can stay here if you would like for the evening as a reward.
I think I'll go and stay with my friends.
Your loss. He sips a fine tea as you make your way back to the tent.
I'll take some tea with me on the way.
You can't take anything out of the mansion.
Oh. Any apple pie?
As long as you're in here.
I'll have an apple pie before I go.
It's not as good as the one in Infernal Rapture, but it's a pretty good pie. Not as good as Bonnie's, but a good pie.
Thank you, Mr. D.
He nods as you return to the group.
I will sneak my way back in and head to sleep for the evening. All the time. I don't know what time of day it is. I have no idea.
That's because there is no day and night.
Yeah.
It is constantly day. Yeah, it has not been dark at any point since you have gotten here. So for the first time since you've been in hell, you get a peaceful night's sleep and a long rest.
Long rest.
Whoop whoop.
Make sure you keep your hit point total. It might reset those, but you get to keep the max hit point increase for 24 hours, including the long rest. So if it resets it, just add it back again.
Oh, I don't think I have anything that needs to reset. So
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just not going to hit the button just to be safe.
Fair enough. All right.
Because as per usual, Temperance will cast Mage Armor as soon as she wakes up.
Yep. As you wake up in the morning, whoever stumbles out first sees that although the tent is left, the rest of the Wandering Emporium has disappeared. Seems you got a free tent out of the deal too.
Sweet. Temperance is going to go over to Phoenix, actually, and just So you know, Phoenix, I did chat a little bit more with Dion, and his term with Mahadi is 50 years altogether. It's got about 45 years left. I thought you might want to know.
Sure, thanks.
That's all.
Yeah, Phoenix is very, like, 1,000-yard stare this morning.
I figured. So, who's going to carry the tent?
Bag of holding.
I think it can fit in my bag more than
Perfect.
likely.
Can.
We all have to think the same thought as far as getting to this fortress. What happens if one of us has an
Thinks
intrusive
of the
thought?
Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Pick.
Or has
the
ADHD
mode.
and can't keep a thought in their head for more than
Yeah,
5 minutes?
And what happens if you, like, think of a place that isn't in hell? Do you go nowhere? Do you end up in a random place? I feel like we shouldn't experiment, but I do have questions.
Perhaps
That's
all
all.
will be revealed in the fullness of time.
Yes,
I
so
guess-
or maybe we could talk to somebody later who knows a little bit more about its nature.
I think to be on the safe side, we should all very much picture that we want to go to that place with the machinery.
Can we still see Fort Knucklebone?
Yeah, Fort Knucklebone.
Not from where you are. No. Once you got on the ground, you couldn't
But
see it anymore.
I'm assuming we can still picture what it looked like from when we saw it the first time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I guess we just gotta keep it in our minds and think about Fort Knucklebone, and then start walking to it.
All right. I'm game.
Okay. You guys start walking. Okay. I need let's see. Let's have Neil roll me 2d4.
Oh,
Just to you or to everybody?
I don't care.
Okay, I'll just roll to everyone. 2d4.
I need to know not the total, but what both numbers are.
That is a 1 and a 4.
Okay. You guys travel for hours. Hours upon hours. But as you guys are traveling that way, you hear a sound that you are starting to recognize as the roar of one of those machines. And it gets closer and closer. And once again, it stops. And as you see, hopping out of this machine, about the size of a large SUV, entirely metal with a wicked clamp on the front of it, like this, you see 2 little goblins jump out. Holy hell's up of slimy, is that you? And you see, Neil, unmistakably 2 familiar faces. They come up and one of them grabs you around the head and the other one starts giving you a noogie. Slimy! Ah, look at him! You thought you killed us! Ah, look at
Raven's
you!
gonna instinctually kind of aim her staff towards these 2
Yeah.
foreign goblins.
And they look around and they look up. Lulu? Damn, haven't seen you in a while.
Hello. Who are you?
Oh,
I
I'm
literally-
Chaka. And I'm Clonk.
I'm just immediate, like, if they've still got hold of me, which I'm assuming they probably
Oh yeah, no,
did,
they have not let go of you. They did not stop giving you the noogie the entire time.
I am immediately just... You've literally not seen Neil do it, actually. This is the first time he's actually using the spell. But he literally just disappears and reappears like 30 feet away.
Nice.
Misty step.
They go, "Oh, damn, you always were one of the Nilbogs. Slimy, look at you. You're a tricksy one. That's how you killed us, too.
How did I know that you'd end up here?
Well, you know us. We weren't going to go fight in the war. That's not our style. So we went this way. We were those larvae for a little while, but once Maggie rescued us, then we were good to go.
But you all died.
Yeah? Yeah, that's what I meant. I was a larvae, like on the river Styx for, oh, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. It was terrible.
You all died. And so
Yes,
did
we've
my
covered
best
we've
friend,
covered that.
because of you.
Well, no, you killed him. Last time I checked, I didn't cast Fireball. Or whatever the hell it was you did.
Neil, do you want us to kill these guys again? Because kind of feeling like
Hey, we're
They
just here to
just-
be friends. What the heck?
They just said
Listen,
that
we're just
they-
letting bygones be bygones.
Robbie, your volume keeps coming in and out.
That's really weird. I
Lost
don't
you
know why
for a
that's
second.
happening.
Yeah, it may be like a Zoom compression on the volume if you get loud or something.
Yeah, it's probably me. It was happening to Phoenix too at some point.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
They just said they worked for Maggie, and isn't she the lady you said that we don't remember, but you remember that the other weird lady we don't remember and you remember, and that we shouldn't make her mad?
that's a good point.
I don't care about making some random person mad.
Well, don't we
It's
need to
not
talk
a
to her?
random person, it's a fae.
I don't know. She's a fae, though. I don't think, right?
Well, whatever she is, she seems in charge of stuff a little bit. Maybe stuff we need to know about or deal with. You know.
Did your parents not tell you horror stories about the fae?
Who, me?
Any of you?
I didn't have parents. I had a
And
cult.
Did-
as I think we've established,
Your
my parents tried to
caregiver-
kill me. When these two also tried to kill me.
Are
yeah.
they brothers?
Robbie, refresh me.
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, no. So these are not people.
These
These are not
just
specific
tr-
characters that you have mentioned. 2 of the group. No, they're just best friends.
Then just
Not brothers, just best friends.
yeah.
And they'd go say as much, nah, I mean, he's like my brother. And then one of them elbows the other. You don't know which one's Chucka, which one's Clonk. It's a Rosencrantz and Guildenstern type of thing.
Nice.
Look, these are my friends. And these are people that actually have looked after me instead of like you two trying to kill me just because I let somebody out
You mean trying to get you to do the right thing?
by killing a harmless tiefling.
Yeah, that's what I said. Try to get you to
That
do the
you
right
would
thing.
have just then eaten him.
I mean, only if he didn't go bad.
But he wouldn't have had time to if
I don't know. I heard Tiefling's a
Look,
little bit tough. I haven't.
look,
No offense. He
I don't get me wrong. I
hurts the
do feel
Raven.
I do feel bad that some people died that shouldn't have died. I mean, like mom, dad, you know, they probably shouldn't have died. I mean, they
Well,
did
yeah,
try
you
to
killed
kill
all
me
of
after
us.
all. Yeah.
Probably isn't going to work, but she's going to druid craft poison ivy under their feet.
They're wearing shoes, unfortunately.
Look, no hard feelings or anything, but these are my friends.
And we're your friends too. And they run to like try to give you another hug.
I
Yeah,
just,
block.
as soon as either of them get anywhere near, I'm just going to gust, like, blow them back away from me.
Yeah, they're like, gosh dang it, stupid nilbogs and your magic, whatever.
Look, I am more than happy to. We need to get to Fort Knucklebone, and we need to speak to somebody.
Yeah, it's right over there. And as you turn, you swear to everything that this was not there a moment ago. But now, you can see the jagged walls of a fort.
This place makes no sense.
At least we don't have to walk anymore.
I mean, we got to walk all the way over there. Well, I mean, you could get in, I guess.
Oh, you
It'd be a
give us
little tight
ride?
squeeze with all of us. Yeah, it'd be a tight squeeze, but we can make it in.
Oh,
Are you
that
going
would
to
be
try and
very
kill
nice.
us?
I mean, we're already in hell, so we hadn't planned on it.
Yeah, I mean, just to clarify, we're not dead.
Oh, really? Damn, look at you. Mr. I'm
I-
alive. Oh, so fancy.
Yeah, your boy's
Well-
gone interplanar.
Well, yeah, not just I'm alive.
I always thought he was kind of plain.
This is what I mean. These guys were just nothing but mean to me.
So sorry, Neil.
No, I get it. Like I said, I thought we didn't need to talk to this Maggie.
Well, and we might want to see what the inside
Lulu
of
will
one
turn
of
to
these
say,
look
well,
like.
they were the ones who saved me.
Hmm.
Well,
yeah,
I don't think they're
we
gonna
all
try
contain
and kill us.
multitudes.
I don't think they're going to try and kill us because they know what happened last time.
I mean, yeah, that. And also, like, she likes that one, points to Lulu.
Well, I'd love to see the inside of their machinery, wouldn't you?
I tell you what, boys, I'll make you a deal.
We love a deal.
I won't kill you again. And Bonnie gets to drive the machine.
That's fair. And you see him spit into their hand and hold it out for you.
Bonnie, look away. as he like repeats.
Okay. And that seems like a great place to end for the evening.
Alrighty. Well, folks, thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for hanging out. We are going to go through our usual sign-off while I try and figure out someone to raid. We are going to remind you all who we are, who we played tonight, and where we can be found on the internet. So I'm going to throw it over to DocRobert.
Hey everybody, I'm Robbie, or DocRobert. I have been the Dungeon Master, inflicting trauma upon many of these people. Man, it was a very trauma-filled episode today. Only emotional combat, no actual combat to this time. So I'm not sure if that's better or worse. So you can find me in Bonus Mom's Tavern and, doing grading papers. And Pixel, go for it.
Oh, hi there, gang. I didn't see you come in. My name is Pixel. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you for hanging out, everybody. I have been Pixel, your dwarven barbarian Phoenix, and once again, back at his rightful place as the #1 internet sad dad. Finally, I have retaken my throne. You can also find me here at twitch.tv/hammerandpixel. I believe probably the next time I will be streaming will be Monday. I might stream tomorrow, I might not, but probably Monday. And we'll be back with probably some Final Fantasy 14.
Bonus Mom.
I'm very sorry that I've gone out of focus, but I guess that's just the nature of tonight. It's very unfocused.
Aha!
Yeah, there we go. Just
in
Oh,
time.
it got better. Oh, it's me. It's Bonus Mom. I am streaming as many days of the week and as many times as I can. 9:30 in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 9:30 at night. Check my schedule. It's in Bonus Mom's Tavern on Discord. And sometime soon, I'm going to fight this battle on Final Fantasy XIV called Binding the Coil of Bahamut Turn 5. And we're going to do it till we get it. And that's probably the biggest thing going on with me. So thank you for watching and happy Thanksgiving to everybody. This is a time of year due to recent events when for so many of us, it is hard to find anything to be thankful for. But let us do this. Let us be thankful for each other and for this community of misfits that we have found. And let us stand tall and stay together.
McReese.
Hi guys, I'm McReese. Been playing Raven LaFey. Absolutely full with little blinky balls in her tummy. You can find me in Bonus Mom's Tavern and in the comments of her lives, keeping things safe.
Cam.
Hello, I am Cam, or No Remark, otherwise known as Neil Boggs, Goblin Wizard, or Slimeface, Goblin Wizard, or Slimeface, Neil Boggs, Neil Bog. What's going on?
Neil Slime-faced Boggs.
Yeah, what's going
And
on?
slimy to those who love him
Slimy
best.
to those who know me well. And clearly making some kind of secrets in the background. You can find me here on Twitch at twitch.tv/no_remark at some point soon, hopefully. Very busy schedule with Christmas season coming up at the theatre. Otherwise, you can find me in Bonus Mom's Tavern or right here.
Kaylee.
I'm Kaylee or Christy. I play Temperance, the Air Genasi sorcerer, who is very tired of being singled out for things. And you can find me in Bonus Mom's Tavern, usually lurking, because I just have too much to do most days to actually hang out. I'm also on Tuesday nights play D&D and stream with a group called Reality Break 20. That is going to be on hiatus this week, so 2 weeks will be the next time that I stream with them. I also am on Twitch at Kaylee1999, where you can watch me hopefully play some Dragon Age Veilguard in the new year, taking a bit of a break for the holidays. And I'm also on TikTok and Blue Sky and with Kaylee1999. You can find me all over the internet.
Awesome. Well, gang, with that, we're going to go raid our good friend Vincent Page. He is live. And so we're going to send y'all over to him. Thank you all very much for hanging out for this silly thing that we do, improvising emotional trauma for one another on Saturday nights. Hope you all enjoyed it and come back next time. I don't think we're going to announce our next date right now. We've got to figure out because, holidays are crazy. So, but be on the lookout. We'll be announcing those things in the Discord. And until the next time that I see you, do me a favor and be kind to yourself, just in case everybody else isn't. Thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.
Let me tell a tale of a world where heroes walk among us, fighting through the darkness left by monsters and by selfish men. A tale of glory rents asunder, sacrifice and battles lost. Our heroes know not what awaits them, and still they carry on. Let me sing a song of a family forged by trials and woe. On their own they falter, but together